Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and I've got Linda Grindel in the house. Hi, Linda. We attempted
Well,
this on Monday.
this is our Monday show. You are not making a mistake.
We were going to do it Tuesday, and then Wednesday, but finally.
Well, what happened was we were glitching, and that was actually, I told Mel, it was terrible. We'd ask one question and it'd freeze. So I contacted Comcast, and the next day, the day after, they sent out a guy. By the way, this guy was a go-getter. He was like, whoa. I said, how long you been doing this? 25 years? I said, he's one of those, here's your sign, miss.
Was he nice looking?
Oh, no, it wasn't that kind of energy at all. But nicest guy. So he went in, he checked the boys thing, and then he did out here, and I just wasn't getting internet. I have to do Wi-Fi where this computer is located. The modem is in my son's room. This is a brand new computer that I'm working off of. And he said, your internet card or your Wi-Fi card is corrupt or something. I said, what? This is new. This is like not even a year old. So I said, that's crazy. And he said, well, the other thing you could do is call an electrician and have them get an Ethernet. Is that the way you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
From the modem, have them drill, go underneath the house, come up and connect it to this. And I said, you know what, let me do that, because this is my livelihood, really, if you think about it. It's irritating when you keep freezing.
Oh, it is.
Irritating as heck. I said, let me do that. So the electrician came out and gave me an estimate of $950. Yikes. But you know what, you guys? I don't know if I'll ask my IRS guy if it can be deductible, because this is sort of a business situation.
I hear go for it. You'll get it.
Yeah, I'll ask to get permission, but it is something I needed because I couldn't use the Wi-Fi. But then also, to top it off, I had ordered a computer yesterday too. My son gave me, I said, I'm getting rid of this computer. It doesn't work. So I went ahead and ordered it. And then I decided, well, I'll go ahead and use the new one. I'll give this one to my son.
But then the plot thickens, because then they fixed it. Then you had more problems, right?
Oh, well, they came out. He drilled. Nice guys that I trust this electrician. I know they had to crawl underneath that house and everything. And so they couldn't get it to work. In fact, it was worse. We rebooted, I don't know how many times. And lo and behold, the guy who had come out the day before had left his jacket here. Of course, I went through the pockets. Anyway, so he had come back to get his jacket. Here's another weird thing. He left the jacket, and and you know how hard it is to contact these people. I said, the tech that was here accidentally left his jacket. Oh, okay, hold on. Well, he's at another place. He'll come by after he's done. I said, oh, good, okay. He texts me this morning. He said, Linda, did I leave a jacket? I said, yes, they said they contacted you. No. So right when we were like, and I'm writing a check for $950 for something that doesn't work, he comes in to get the jacket. And I said, I'm going to sue your happy ass. I said, it doesn't work, but he's so knowledgeable. So he went in there and he checked here and he checked there. He said, do you have a computer? I used to have a laptop, but I never use them. I don't care about computers. So I had no laptop. My son wasn't here. He probably would have had one. And then he said, damn, I wanted to check the connection. And one of the guys that came in, the electrician, did something on my screen. And him and I were in the other room, and I heard it started, and zoom, it was working. I told the guy, you're lucky, because I was just loading my gun. No, I'm just kidding. But it was working, and it works fantastic. I was even waiting a long time, before I could log in.
I think him leaving his jacket there is called synchronicity.
Oh, by the way, the good news with him coming back was he looked at the work. And he looked at these guys and he said, may I say you did an excellent job.
Yay.
And he also said the house will be worth a little more, probably a lot, but because I have this access, it helps.
Good. So it kind of was a win-win. It's just the journey that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, I had such a tough day. I could tell you more. Yesterday, I thought my water heater went down. A plumber came out. He looks at it. He goes in the shower where I couldn't get the hot water. It was something with the knob in the shower. And I said, I'll be doggone, this is just the worst day. And he said, well, you know, on your water heater, there's a thing up there that they put some sort of fastening that corrodes. You could see it kind of bubbling. He said, it's like $20 to replace it. Why don't I, while I'm here, since you got to pay 125, he said, why don't I replace that? And I said, yes, thank you. It makes it worth it. It was something that was going to have to get done.
Well, thank God it wasn't the water heater, right?
No, it wasn't the water. That water heater is only 3 years old.
Oh, I know ours went out like 4 or 5 years ago. It was expensive because, and then everything here is electric. We don't have gas. We went, I said, specifically electric. The guy comes to install it. He brings a gas water heater. I go, you gotta take it back. Well, you bought gas. I go, no, here's right here, electric.
Oh, it was, you had it on the receipt?
Oh yeah, I had the receipt and everything.
Good for you. Good for you.
Anyway.
So
Well,
we're excited to be back. You probably a lot of people already logged off. I'm tired of listening to this.
well, we're pre-recording, so you know, I put up there we do it yesterday, and I thought, oh, so I redid it, and so about 45 minutes ago, and said it's today. So anyway.
Well, I couldn't do collabs. It's not just with you. I just couldn't. I got a lot of collabs coming up this weekend. So
I know
I got my Sterling coming up and everything.
No, it's like it kind of screws up everything. But it was funny though, when you would just do it on Zoom, it didn't freeze. But if you,
I did one that night. I just tried it. I said, let me just try me, and it was no problem.
I saw it.
And I talked about you too. By the way, you said 2 for Fanny. I'm thinking it's 2 hours because they blocked the streets. And now it looks like it won't even be till next week. So I bet you picked up 2 weeks.
That's what it was. And now Trump is threatening, kind of intimidating her and the witnesses. But I want to tell you something. There's going to be a judge in Georgia that's not going to put up with that.
Oh,
and,
yes.
You and I hit this kind of, well, you got it, then I got it. And you said, and I got it too, that Trump is doing this on purpose. He's doing.
Oh yeah, he wants to go to jail.
And he's doing it to create anarchy and mayhem and this and that because, and he kind of likes being nasty because look at the attention it brings to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wonder what it would be like if we had 5 days without Trump.
Just for a little piece of rest or something.
Well, you know what? If he didn't get media attention for all the shenanigans, guess what? He would realize that ain't working. I got to do something else. But I want to tell you something. I saw more charges coming out from the judge in DC. I can't remember, Chalkin or whatever her name is.
Yeah. What do you see?
Contempt.
So, okay. So tomorrow they're all meeting about he doesn't have to be there, but apparently I guess she's going to give the attorneys a what for.
She's going to issue a stern warning if he doesn't stop this. In this case, she has no jurisdiction in Georgia. He will be held in contempt. And if he starts bad-mouthing her or going,
he already has.
Well, but that's like tampering. It's witness tampering, and it really is obstruction. But she will hold him in contempt. And I want to tell you,
today she showed up. She has 3 agents around her. She never had anybody. So she's under protection.
And the judge that they choose in Georgia is not going to put up with any shenanigans because Trump is already going after the prosecutor, Fani, down there and other people on her staff and witnesses. He's going to be in deep trouble for that. I'm telling you. He thinks that he can get away with it.
He's talking about Fani having an affair with a prisoner. And apparently Fani can come back. She says, show me the proof.
Well, I wouldn't even do that. He's got a lot of nerve talking about people having affairs. All they have to say is, hey, let's call up Stormy and see what really happened. Right.
Yeah, or for the mushroom thing.
Or the
How
woman.
do we know it's a mushroom?
Or the woman you assaulted, right? That's going to bite him too.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. And I picked it up too. My guy said, he's doing this on purpose.
He's doing it on purpose.
Anyway, I'd like to say about the thing on Maui.
Oh, terrible.
It's really, I mean, it was.
I think you're gonna find more bodies. It's
I-
up to 36 or 38.
Well, this is one time when I hope you're not right, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I talked to my friend Jade White Ali Ali Batad on the island of Kauai, and she's got relatives on Maui and friends, and thank God they're okay. But you know, the inside scoop, and you know, there's just nothing left of old Lahaina town. It's flattened. I mean, it's just annihilated. Even boats in the harbor
I heard
were burned.
somebody was up on the hill. It didn't go up the hill. It went down.
And you know, before the fires happened, I had Jade on my mind, my friend Jade. Again, she's on the island of Kauai. And you know, we were playing phone tag, and finally I got her, and she goes, she called me by my Hawaiian name, Li'i, short for Li'i Pu Okay, cool, means little flower spirit. She goes, what do you think about this hurricane hitting us 600 or 700 miles away? I said, I don't get good feelings with it, Jade. She said, me either. It's not going to bring good to the Hawaiian Islands. And you had said something similar to that, Linda.
Right. What I said was I saw a fire like the ones we had here and like they did in Paradise, where it burned so fast and strong that people couldn't even have time. They're saying that these people didn't have time to put their pants on or get their shoes on or anything. My doctor in the fires here couldn't even grab his wallet. That's how fast it went.
Yeah.
But I also said, for some reason, my guides showed a hurricane. Maybe this won't be the one, but Nora was far enough away, but yet it brought 60 to 80 mile an hour gusts, which is what caused the fire to go. So I can't help but wonder, were they showing me that point? Because they showed me like a town, just boom.
It's exactly what it was.
Okay.
And you know, it was funny, day before yesterday,
Fortunately, it's calmed down now. It's calmed down.
Joy sent me a text, our friend Joy.
Oh,
But the text was, have you heard about Maui, the fires on Maui? Lahaina is gone. I'm like, what? And I texted back, no, but I'll check. Thanks, because you know, everybody knows I love Hawaii.
yes, everybody knows it.
And I checked, I'm like, whoa. I mean, I was like devastated. But here's what Jade said in her text. It was when we talked about the hurricane, I knew that would have bring bad things. I felt it, saw it, knew it. I said, Doerr is bringing destruction. She goes, I know things so much stronger these days.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
very intuitive.
Well, I didn't know. I knew a hurricane was going to hurt Hawaii. I thought it was going to land on Hawaii, but it did. Even though it was off the shores, it brought those winds in.
See, it was funny. I never saw like a hurricane. When we talked about it, I said, well, it's going to miss Hawaii. But I just felt this sense of uneasiness about the islands, like something was wrong. It was claircognizant. I knew, I don't know what I knew or how I knew, I just knew that something was really huge. And so,
Yeah.
But I'll put down below how people can donate.
Thank you. He's got a place you can donate that really donates.
Yeah, it's Hawaii Community Foundation.org/Maui-strong. And it's a reputable organization throughout all the islands. And so I made a donation. And in the name of Linda Y. Ali Ali, and in the name of Lucille Mahelani Robert.
I don't know how you
Rogers, I'm sorry, Lucille Rogers.
Well, you know, the Comanches kind of talk, their language sort of has that.
It's funny, I know her Hawaiian name, but I forgot it. Lucille Mahelani Rogers. So I made a donation in her name too.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah, that my Hawaiian name is Linda Loose Lips McGee.
Linda Surflemonth, Hawaii. All right, here we go. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, Sheila Barham says, or Arham, I'm sorry. This is a good one. Well, Eileen cannot be removed from documents case in Florida after her new stunt to lead 45 and Walting to file for dismissal and her desire to own the DC January 6th case. Grand jury is still hearing evidence on. Will Jack Smith go to the 11th Circuit Court to overrule her? I see her being overruled. I don't think she's going to win.
I
that.
did. We've been seeing it, but we don't know when.
Right. But
I get a sneaky suspicion she may try to agree with them about opening up that spot where he can look at records from Mar-a-Lago. He's asking them to, because when he was president, he had a spot where he could look at, so where the crime was committed, he wants them to open up a spot. He said it'll be cheaper.
Well, if she does that and agrees with it, then I see it being appealed and I see it overturned in a higher court.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when she said that, when she criticized Jack Smith for taking the one case to Washington, D.C., it's like, hello, that's where the crime occurred.
Yeah,
And-
well, it's also that anybody that's anybody is saying it's attorney 101. You
Correct.
can have a grand jury anywhere.
Correct. And what she's doing is overreach. And a lot of these judges don't like her, even Republican ones. And I see her off the bench at some point. What do you get, Linda?
She's going to be kicked off. She's going to do something else really stupid, you guys.
I call her Eileen Loose Cannon.
It's a shame.
It is. It
Yeah,
really,
but to think, you know whose side she's on. Why would she bring that? Is she really that? Well, she didn't swear in the jury, so that's basic. Something's wrong with her.
well, she also committed a huge no-no when she banned people from the courtroom, which you cannot do. And so that right there is grounds for.
And she
getting-
also leaked something about the grand jury, which she's not supposed to do.
I mean, she's made, I saw somewhere that she only tried 4 cases. I mean, hello, she's in way over her head. And it's gonna bite her.
Yep.
Okay. So Soulshine says Henrietta Lacks family just settled their lawsuit from doctors taking and using her cells for research and development. Does she have a message for us? So what happened is Henrietta Lack was a person in the 1950s, late 40s, early 50s. She had uterine cancer, I think. No, cervical cancer. And the doctors took a piece of the tumor and they kept, I don't know, cloning, but like, used it to do research. But in those days, there was nothing saying you couldn't do that. And so because of they kept using the cell line, it was still, I think it kind of still going on, but it paved the way for a lot of research and cancer and stuff like that. So her family got wind of it, because one of the drug companies wanted to check their DNA, and they filed a lawsuit like that they wanted compensation, which is rightfully they should get. So the lawsuit was settled for a non-disclosed sum. So this person asking, what is Henrietta's spirit saying about it?
I hate to say this, but she's glad they did the research.
Exactly what I picked up. My guides are telling me.
He's not being all, oh, wow, how dare they?
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Henrietta's tumor helped save a lot of lives.
Well, she's telling me right now, this is her, that had they asked her permission, she would have said yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm glad they got their compensation. And I think
They should have told them. Yeah.
They should have told them. And they did find out through the drug companies, but it was not until the 1970s or 80s. But I still think that Henrietta directed this lawsuit. I mean, you mean for the good for her family to get the compensation.
Yeah,
But
probably.
she's also happy that they used her cell line.
If it was helping save lives, she's happy.
Right. She's happy about that. So it was a win-win for everybody, I think. Okay, Alexis. The January 6th insurrection seems to have Roger Stone's fingerprints all over it. Will Roger Stone be indicted for a role in January the 6th?
Absolutely, yes. But it's not going to happen until they get done with Trump.
When I read that question today, I'm hearing yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And I had said, didn't Trump pardon Stone or something?
Yeah, but Stone told Bannon, fasten your seatbelt when Biden won. He said, because we're going to be condemned.
Well, Bannon is not out of the woods either.
Out.
And when Stone was pardoned, I thought that Trump pardoned him, but I had said a lot of those guys like Flynn, Stone, a lot of them that Trump pardoned were still going to be under indictment at some point and going to go to jail. Not
Yeah.
stuff that Trump, but if they can prove that Trump pardoned them for a profit, those pardons can be overturned. And that's next on the agenda. Some of those pardons will be overturned, my guides tell me.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one.
What?
Doris Mosler says, thanks for all the effort you all do. Do you see fires or smoke in the Bay Area this year? I'm not picking that up.
This is Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area.
Correct.
I'm picking up towards the north, might be Sacramento, Walnut Creek, that kind of area, like grass fires and stuff.
You know what I picked up right on the border of California and Nevada?
They already had one. They already have a fire there. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But they're going to have more.
Okay.
That's way up north. Okay. Moxie Cha-Cha. I just love that.
I love that name.
What does Golda Meir think of Bibi Netanyahu and the direction he's taking Israel? I got the answer to that one.
It feels very sad to me.
She's really angry and she's like, I'm not going to let this happen.
Right. I just feel sad.
I see him removed from office at some point.
Oh, I see him being taken out. It might be some sort of riot or something. I don't know if he goes out head first or feet first.
I don't know, but I see him taken. I don't mean like, but I mean removed from office.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just a comment that a lot of people are having a lot of issues with their internet.
What? Somebody just said they are too?
I'm sorry?
Oh, well, we had solar flares, big time solar flares.
That'll do it. It's just, I put on my community board, there were problems with the internet, and people are responding that a lot of people have had issues with internet and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Carol Kushkin asked, what will this winter be like in Florida?
Oh God, that awful man. He's just terrible. Did you see how he got rid of a attorney general or somebody who was nominated into her position?
But you know what? If that goes to court, I don't know.
I see the Supreme Court overturning it.
So do I.
What you do is you vote her out. You can't just randomly decide, nah, and then replace her with a Republican.
See, I see that changing. I mean, I see that, you're right. I see that going to the Supreme Court. And I'm saying, you cannot just take somebody out of office that people voted.
That was voted in. That's
correct. That's voted in. So a lot of the stuff that he's pulling, like banning books, can't say gay, can't do this, it's going to be overturned.
Yeah, all the
a lot of it
teachers.
starting soon. I mean, this guy is, what he's doing in Florida would be what Trump would do to the United States if Trump were president.
Oh, amen. I see a lot of chaos, and I see that they've suffered greatly with some hurricanes. I see people mad at him, at DeSatan.
I know.
You know what I saw? I saw him looking like Frankenstein up in the castle, and the village people are coming with their pitchforks. So we'll see.
They dragging him out. I think it's going to be a winter with some severe storms in Florida.
Yeah.
Hurricanes, some pretty major ones. And, I see flooding. But I want to tell you something back to DeSatan. I think a lot of Floridians are getting fed up with them as well.
Good. Well, oh my God. Some news person, I recognized her, and then everybody was so mean to her. She'd gained some weight since she'd been on MSNBC. Anyway, she was talking about, thank God her insurance company still belongs to Florida, but it tripled. Her home insurance tripled.
Special place in
she said, but thank God I have an insurance that stayed.
Special place in hell for insurance companies.
I know.
Back to that attorney general he replaced. Um, you know, my light bulb just went on.
What?
Um, what he's doing is, I think he got wind that the attorney general there was investigating some stuff that he did and investigating some stuff that Trump did to try to bring state charges. And
Okay.
that's why he removed her and put a Republican in.
I don't see him working for Trump, but for
No, no,
him,
no,
yeah.
no. I don't mean working for Trump. I mean, he heard it through the grapevine that she was looking into some things Trump pulled in Florida to see about, charging
No, but
Trump.
I don't see him caring if Trump gets in trouble.
But
He
she,
cares if he gets in
but
trouble.
he also heard it through the grapevine that she was looking at some stuff that he had done.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's why he removed her from office and put some, probably a MAGA or the Satan person in.
Yeah, sounds true.
That's what my light bulb,
But
when you said that,
let me tell you, look what happened in Ohio.
oh, I know, yay.
The good people are coming out to vote and they're saying, we're not going to take this anymore.
And that's exactly what will happen in Florida. But
Yeah.
I still wrote Ohio vote here in my notes. I still think the Republicans there have got something up their sleeve that they're going to try, but here again, it'll backfire.
Yeah, well, they need to get off the women issues.
And
It's not popular at all, but you know what? If they want to stay on it for now, good for us, because that makes us win.
oh, absolutely. I still think, on that referendum, people will vote for women's rights in Ohio. Absolutely. But then they'll try something else. They'll try two more things, but it's going to bite them.
Okay, good, good.
I see Ohio becoming more democratic at some point.
Or getting purple at least.
Or getting purple. I don't know if it'll ever be blue.
But they said even the little counties out in Boomsdale that used to be red, voted against this thing that they didn't want them to be able to do the 60%.
And
they voted no on no.
Here's what's going to happen with that MAGA Republican kind of stuff. It's going to be like, you can't change the rules because you don't like the rules to make it work for something you want. You
exactly.
go through the due process, like Constitution, to do that. You just don't get to do it willy-nilly.
Well, that's what Trump would have done. He would have just,
of course. But you know what? It's so more and more people are going to be voting to say, wait a minute, you got to follow the rules, and you can't break them to suit what you want. And that goes for Satan, that goes for Trump, that goes for Biden, that goes for anybody.
Right.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Hold on. I lost my spot. Here we are. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. We've already answered this, but Carol Cushkin asked, will Trump ever serve any time for his crimes? Will he actually be locked up? They might hold him under arrest for 24 to 40 hours for contempt, but I still never saw him going to jail.
Not a regular jail. He might be in confinement in a military facility or hospital or something like that.
Or confined to his house with a tether.
No, I don't think they'll even let him be that comfortable.
No, well, that's good.
The thing is, they already just killed that one guy who threatened everybody. Threatened our president and threatened this and that, and said he was a red MAGA. And I told you these people were going to be coming out the woodwork.
Unfortunately,
my fear is if somebody does get hurt because they feel they were told by Trump to do this, it's really going to put Trump in trouble. They're going to want to shut him down.
Well, Trump keeps blabbing about it. Okay. And here again, it's still, I see more conspiracy charges because of the crap he keeps doing. And you know what? Sooner or later, justice will win out.
Yeah.
A lot sooner than later. Okay. Wonder how orange would look in orange. What do you think?
Orange is the new orange.
I liked orange, but I don't know now. My jury's out. No, I don't mean I like Trump. I like the color orange.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Near Ranjan, I can't pronounce it. I'm very anxious about the number of asylum seekers coming to New York City. We want to welcome them, but we don't have any room for them. Please give us an idea of what the outcome will be. Well, what people need to do is speak up and say we need to give these people asylum. And furthermore, that these states like Texas and Florida need to stop putting them on buses and shipping them to places and dropping them off.
Right. But do they have the room too?
That's true. But what does our Statue of Liberty say?
But I'm saying that, but those were coming from New York. I'm talking about Texas and stuff. But they said the amount of people coming over is way less than before.
It is. All right. So,
but they don't even let them know that they're coming. They're not even asking to disperse fairly amongst all nations, so I don't know.
The outcome, as I see it, slowing down, but I do see being able to, fit some of those people in.
Yeah, and New York will figure it out, by the way.
Exactly. Dear, okay, same person, Naranjan, God, I can't pronounce it. Here in New York City, there's a very powerful radio station with the call letters whose names I won't call. All right. Almost every crooked Trumpster has a program on it. All they talk about all day is Trump, Trump, Trump. And they are angry every hour they broadcast. What'll happen when Trump is no longer in the news? Well, I guess they won't have anything to talk about.
They won't have nothing to talk about or talk about. Remember how good he was?
Well, but there's some other stations that are anti-Trump that do the same thing.
Yeah. Or even your regular cable stations. All they talk about is Trump, Trump, Trump.
Exactly. All right. Somebody says you need gigabits. I can't pronounce it. Gigabit service, whatever that is. I don't know.
Oh, gigabytes.
Gigabyte service. Yeah. All right.
I got direct line from my modem into my computer. That's what needed to be done.
That's the Ethernet. That's right. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Jorm says there are shortages of all types of workers since COVID. Will this country ever get a handle on making a reliable, comprehensive evaluation or of just where, when, and how many actual productive immigrants just might be a good thing for some areas of the nation, and set up a tangible program to fill that need? Or is it a pipe dream?
What is this again?
In other words, since COVID, we have a shortage of workers. So what this person is asking is, will there ever be a program of comprehensive evaluation where, when, and how we can use these immigrants for productive work to help?
Oh, yes, definitely. Especially with the new administration. But may I say that more people are going back to work right now?
Yeah, that's true. But I do see a lot of immigrants filling those spaces.
Yeah.
And then some of them at MAGAs will say, oh, they're taking our jobs. Really? When's the last time that you cleaned a toilet? Right. I mean,
but, it's Hispanic people are real good business people. It's not just cleaning. They're very good administratively.
Totally. I mean, here in Chicago, Chicago's a melting pot. We've got all kinds of ethnicities running businesses, and they're very successful. And that makes me happy. Okay.
It's hard to run a business, let me tell you.
Tell me about it.
Let me tell you, when I was in Scotland, if they hadn't had their Indian and Pakistan community out there, nobody would work after 5. They rolled the sidewalks up at 5 o'clock. Not a Scottish person working.
I kind of like it because, like, in certain places in Europe, at noon, you have a lunch, you have a big lunch, everything closes for a couple hours, you take your—
Is that in Italy?
Yep. And then at night, everything reopens and you have a light dinner, and dinners are very light, but lunches are big, but everything closes for a couple hours and people,
I had an Italian family live down the street, the Spigolas. And the mom would make her husband a big dinner for lunch.
that's how it works.
And then at night, he'd have a sandwich or something.
That's how it is. You have a huge lunch, light dinner, which actually makes sense. It's really healthy.
Yeah, it's probably easier to sleep.
It is. So after lunch, you kind of take a siesta, do what you got to do, and then everything opens in the afternoon again. It's kind of neat. I like that.
That's a nice laid back energy.
Certainly is. Okay, Brenda Joe. Trump read a truth by James Woods that had this statement in it. Even if they convict him of all charges, though, millions of Americans will feel deprived of their candidate, regardless how hated he is by the other side, and they will have a civil war frame of mind. Will there be major civil unrest across the country when all this finally comes crashing down on Trump and all?
No. No.
Because I'm so glad that
you're going to have your little individual like the guy that just got killed, the cray craze.
Right.
What'll happen is people are going to be doing better financially. The country's going along just fine. And, once he's shut up, when you're not dealing with the chaos anymore, all of a sudden you'll realize, geez, I can breathe. I'm not dealing with this constant boom, boom. Because remember, Barr told him that, not that Barr's a good person. But he said, sir, people are sick and tired of your constant bitching. And he really thinks people love it. Well, yeah, he's like a circus act.
Well, he likes to stir up a bunch of dirt and people, they'll buy it for so long. But
he's a circus act.
Correct. He is.
Like they say, oh, look at, he had people show up. Yeah, everybody loves the circus. If he was around here, I might buy a ticket to watch the circus act.
Well, it's like P.T. Barnum said, there's a sucker born every minute.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think most of us are going to get tired of the small faction of these pseudo-Christian nationalists pushing their beliefs down our throats. And some of these politicians allowing them to do it, not because these politicians don't care. They just want to stay in power. So they'll pander to whomever they need to stay in power. And I think, you're right, Linda, many of us are going to get tired of it.
Everybody's tired. But listen, even that, what's her name? The one from Arizona that swears she won as governor. What's her name?
Yeah, I forget. Is it Carrie Lake or something? I don't know.
Carrie Lake. She said, well, there will be a civil war. She just said that. This woman is not taking any responsibility for what she's saying. And do you think she'd be out there fighting? No. All these people are claiming civil war, but you think they'd be out there fighting? You think they're going to come up against the Marines or the United States Army? Hell no.
You know what? That's what I was just thinking. Put them on the front line. Let them talk about it, right?
Yeah. Get old bone spurs out there to fight.
Yeah, I don't think they realize
They're pushing. That's what I'm telling you. He has been doing that. I've noticed his affect back when he went in to be charged in New York. The way he was looking at the crowd, he was looking for people rallying for him.
Because he thrives on that.
And he really wants people to take arms and do cray.
But he said, I'll march there with you. And he didn't. His rear end was in a room watching things on TV.
Well, no, he told them to take down the things that they have weapons. Don't worry, they're with me.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have cared if they went in and started shooting all the Congress people.
He wouldn't have at all. That's the whole point, right?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
But here, I'm glad that the people that participated in the insurrection were tried, and they have to serve time for their crime. Because that sends a message to people. You have a right to peaceful protest, but you don't have a right to insurrection. You don't have a right to that kind of violence. And if you do, here's the consequences of that.
Well, let me ask you something. Tables turn and Biden lost and we all start pitching a fit and acting out. Do you think they would tell us, go take your space? We won. Get over it.
Well, Trump wanted to bring in the military to open fire on people. So that tells you what he wanted.
Oh, he wanted them with the Black Lives Matter. He wanted them to shoot.
Oh, yeah. That's what he would have done. Hands down. So, you know, but I think it sends a message. I mean, there'll be little pockets of uh of people who are creating violence because
Yeah, there's gonna be some cray craze, but you know what? Our intel and stuff, I'm telling you, they're gonna know about a lot of this before it even begins.
correct. And
So we will go through some bumps, but the nice thing is once he's gone, we can breathe. We can, and let me tell you about too, is those like the Michigan 9 of the 16 or whatever were indicted today, the fake ones, they're all gonna pay their just desserts.
so I think people will see that and think they'll think twice before, you know, peaceful protest is fine, but
Yes.
not, you know, creating insurrection.
Well, look at Ohio, look at Wyoming, or not Wyoming. Where did that woman win as judge? Some woman won as a judge. The thing is, they're cutting their nose to spite their face. They're going for things that a lot of people just aren't interested in. You're
Right.
going to get your Gen Z. Sure, not all of them are going to be for Biden. A lot of people have resistance against Biden, but they got no other choice, or it's Trump.
Correct.
No one wants to live like that.
I wouldn't. Okay, Catherine Benson. Hello, Mel and Linda. My question is, do your guides see if members of Congress implicated in January 6th have
Absolutely.
their target letters yet from Jack Smith? Oh, they're going to.
They're going to. I'm looking so forward to it. And I've been talking about this for years. I saw the rats jumping from the ship. Oh, I don't know him.
I saw somebody turn the light on, the cockroaches all trying to hide
Yeah,
back.
there you go. Hey,
Right.
listen, can I ask you before you go on to another question?
Absolutely.
Did you see the number of things Clarence Thomas was purchased
Yes,
all
I
those
had
vacations?
that in my notes.
Okay, what the hell?
You know, we have both said that there's more stuff coming out about him. Wow.
No wonder he doesn't want to step down. He lives like a king.
Oh yeah. Why should he? What do you think is going to happen there?
Although I see people stop purchasing things for him because they don't want to be in the limelight.
Well, I'm just curious. My psychic light bulb went on again.
Yeah.
If people were giving him these big trips, 38 more they found out about or something,
Luxury too.
luxury to get legislation they wanted put through. I just wonder if that should be criminal. And I see at some point.
But see, they don't have it in writing. This will all change later.
Right.
They're going to make sure that these justices, every other judge has to do it, but they're not required to do it.
You're going to have to.
And so they can't criminally. But look at this. He's going down, my friend.
Oh, good. Oh, Justice like that.
And it might be September. It says just watch, wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh, there's more coming out, that's for sure. But I don't think he's waiting to step down till after the election because he's thinking if a Republican gets in, he won't be in trouble.
Well, yeah, he thinks that if Trump gets in, he's good as gold.
But I see him being called to task for his mischief, if you will. And I'll tell you who else is going to be in trouble. I keep entertainment purposes only is Jenny Thomas for this.
Oh, I know.
She's pulled.
She feels like she kind of loses it.
I think she already did. Okay. This is a good one. M. Stewart says, hi, Mel and Linda. Twice now I've been told by President Biden's education department has approved me for total loan forgiveness. Twice now I am told the right wing and those schools in question especially are getting judges to block their forgiveness totally. I'm beyond upset. Why does the education department not make sure it can't be stopped before they give us the news that turns horrible by right-wing judges?
He's going to wake up one day and find out his loan was totally wiped out.
Say again?
He's going to wake up one day, I don't know when, before the year is out probably, and see that his loan was wiped out.
Okay. Oh, good. Because,
and by the way, I've heard this from others. They were fighting and fighting. They were just about ready to give up. One day they look at their account, it's gone. All the money's gone.
Oh,
They
good.
paid for it all.
Because I see that I felt the same thing that that it will be that will be forgiven. So
Yeah.
good. Yay. Do
Tell
we have
him to go in the place of least resistance. Tell him not to worry about it. Breathe, hand it over. Tell him he knows this too shall pass. Make what little minimum payments he needs to make, and then watch what happens. Boom.
okay. That's what I foresee. All right. Jorm 2528 says, have just read about a sizable earthquake near Alaska. Are any big ones we should be aware of? I don't really, I mean,
Well, there was one in Alaska offshore, 7.5.
yeah, but it was offshore.
Yeah, but I do feel Oregon and Washington is going to have, but nothing Armageddon.
No, I mean, I feel like some decent sized quakes, but nothing like the one that hit Juneau in 1961 or two. That was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, even if we had that 4.5 where I was on the news, because I like being on the news.
Do you know?
Excuse me, I was right in the middle of the epicenter. And I says to my boyfriend, and people are saying, Linda, I didn't know you had a boyfriend. I said, I don't. I just said that.
Where was the epicenter? 1,000 miles away, but I was right there.
Actually, it was only 9 miles below me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it shook it. Boom.
That would scare me.
Yeah. But anyway, but we have wood houses, I see cracks, and I just saw this, cracks in the roads. I did see that. Openings come up.
A lot of the houses there is earthquake proof as they can be, right?
But the key is here. Somebody wrote me that they were at a mediumship thing, and somebody came through and said they saw California breaking in half by a major quake, which could happen down the road.
But hold on, if it happens, it's going to be a million years down the road.
Right, but I said, I don't pick that up. If I said, oh, that rings true, I would tell them.
I don't see it.
I don't. The thing is, this is the hard part about predicting earthquakes and stuff. You don't want people standing in fear. You don't want people to constantly worry. Is it coming? Is it coming? And I realize sometimes when I am truthful and I say what I see, people freak out, and I hate for them to do that. But I did see some major damage to it. I don't want you to worry, but I saw a dam being damaged.
Well, that I pick up, but I don't see it breaking, and I don't see this Armageddon.
Yeah, but like everybody's afraid for a minute, and then they shore it up or something like that. I just saw that.
Okay.
But listen, you made an agreement to come here. If you agreed to be killed during something, God forbid, although there's no such thing as death, that was the agreement. Usually people who aren't supposed to be in the epicenter or through, something will happen, like all of a sudden they get this urge that they want to go to Michigan or something. Do you see what I'm saying?
So the moral of the story is don't move downstream from a dam.
There you go.
All right. We got time for one more. Bluebird says, hello, Mel and Linda. I'm so glad you're doing better, Mel. Thank you.
Thank you.
You see bees making a comeback soon. I saw a lot more bees in my yard this year than I have in over 10 years.
Me too.
Yeah, I do see bees coming back.
They're coming back. God love them.
And I like my honey.
And you guys, my hummingbirds are back. There was like 10 of them on my feeder. I have 2 feeders. And it's just so, I love seeing, and then they like to go in the little faucet thing that has a little, like a waterfall. And they fly above it and they go in and out of it so they can get themselves wet.
I saw a bunch of them in Sedona. It was really cool. I love hummingbirds.
I love hummingbirds.
All right. So Monday, your channel, right?
Monday, my channel.
And I'm glad you got everything working with all the.
Oh, thank you for your patience. It was just, actually, it's good we found out. Now I can comfortably have my collabs coming up this weekend. Because it was, and you guys, for my members, they were dealing with this rebooting thing. And they kept telling me, and I thought, well, it must be something on your side.
I know. I kept thinking, because it didn't deal with anybody else.
But it was my side.
I'm so glad this was over. I got some great.
I could hear you talking, but your face wasn't moving.
I got some great still shots of you, Linda.
Okay. guys.
I saw you raising that middle finger.
Ah.
All right. Monday year. So one of these days, let's do a live collab. That'd be fun.
Yes, anytime. We could do it this Monday if you want.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, sweetie. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye-bye.